Amanda came into my life when things were most chaotic, when I didn't know if I had the strength to pull myself up off the floor. When my daughter would hit crisis mode, it became physical. I mean that there were physical attacks on me because a person who has reactive attachment tends to go after those that they feel safest with.
There have been many times over the years where I've worked with families and I am seeing these parents experiencing the hopelessness, and the benefit of having a family peer advocate is the ability to connect with a parent. When I first met Annette, they were deep in the throes of crisis, and to see the amount of passion she has for being involved and seeing her daughter succeed. And, it reminds me every time I speak to Annette that there's power in involvement and there's power in engagement, and there's, people have more power than they realize to change the course of their lives.
I was actually sitting in the emergency room of a local hospital that had no services for a child under the age of 13 that needed psychiatric evaluations or help. So I actually had Amanda come into my life in the middle of chaos, and she took her personal experience without even cluing me in on a lot of it, and she fought for my daughter and my family as hard as if she was part of our family.
Our journey began when my daughter was 12 years old. She survived 2 suicide attempts. Survival was not the end of her story, it was actually just the beginning. We were in the ICU on a ventilator for another week, and then, this time she was discharged back home with community-based services, and that is where Hillside first became a part of my family. We were linked to an amazing team of people. She had a care manager, a skill builder, and I was assigned a family peer advocate. The family advocate that I was fortunate to work with for a very long time, but it got to a point where we were managing, so we discharged from services, but I always maintained kind of an open, line of communication with the advocate if, needs arose. I believe she reached out to me and said, hey, this is something I think that you would be really great at, and I ran with it. The purpose of being a family peer advocate to me is transforming my story for a force of good, to give it a purpose. And I want people to know that Hillside's available, that you're not alone. You don't have to suffer in silence. It is something that gives me purpose daily to know that I am helping people the way that people helped me. It's life-altering, and it's not just a job. Being an advocate is a part of who you are.